You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It is July 20th, 2017. It is another episode of the Impact Implosion here in the Angry Marks Podcast Network. As always, I am Seth Draken, and on the other end is the El Hijo de dos Caras to my dos Caras, Mr. Mike Poland.
I don't have a mask.
I don't either.
We're bad luchadors. We wouldn't be allowed in Mexico.
Actually, you would be allowed in Mexico. They're allowed rudos without masks.
In any event, we've got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Let's get to the top story.
Self-destruction of El Patron and Paige, pretty much. Or at least about pretty close to it.
Alberto?
Yep.
You were given the title, the world title, even though I disagreed with you. I'm sure you thought it was a bad idea. One fucking week, and you decided to fuck things up. You couldn't even do 1 week without doing something stupid. God.
You had one job.
You had one job, and it was to be the face of the company. You're the world champion.
You didn't even do that right.
And now you're in an investigation for domestic abuse? You, and both you and Paige, because you had a little incident in the airport, in the Orlando airport, and despite the fact that Paige is covering up her ass for you, and has lied so many times about what happened, you are still being investigated because obviously there must be some shit. You fucking both did it.
You're both awful people.
TMZ's got a freaking call. And I know it says you're going to press charges, but you're not leaving her alone either. Even though one fan says, oh, leave her be. Oh, by the way, I'm a fan of yours, which is a hilarious bit. Probably the one hilarious bit in that whole video, in that audio.
Yep.
And Tina and GFW, you taped until next month with this piece of shit, and you can't cut him out of the show. And you just suspended him indefinitely.
You taped your main fucking angle about him. Oh,
yeah. And you suspended him indefinitely, by the way. Which, by the way, he ain't going to lose a goddamn paycheck because of all the shit yet. Because you tilt. And this whole thing probably will be fixed before the next tapings, so he'll be on. So GFW did fucking nothing.
Failure.
Nothing. And even worse, there was a press release where they had him still press on the goddamn poster. Press release.
Oh, Impact.
For a house show. And he was still on there. And now JB has to come out and say, well, nothing's final. You mean other than the fact that Johnny Mundo, Taya, and a few other people will be there?
Oh, boy.
Nothing's final? Of course, Alberto. You better hope you get your shit together. And from now on, from this moment until he leaves his company, he is now known as Alberto La Mierda. And if you honestly don't know the Spanish for you, that means Albert the shit.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. This is the face of your company. What does this make your company look like?
They're doing the same shit with him they did with Bram, which is nothing.
Yeah. They're going to sweep it under the rug.
They're going to sweep it under the rug, as they always do, and this fucking company is not going to help these two. This is a Sid and Nancy relationship, and this company's going to be still trying to milk them for all the money they're worth.
Which Patron might not be worth much after this one.
Lemierda, yeah, he's not going to be worth much. He used to call him the boss. He ain't a boss of me. He ain't a boss of anyone.
They should have kept the belt on Lashley.
They should have. Unfortunately, people in America, besides there being idiots, Lashley may not be long for the company because they want him, his team wants him to focus on MMA.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That means TNA loses their top heel and their top face is a goon. Is an idiot.
Yeah, their top face, by the way, their top heel, as they showed from those podcasts when he did those interviews with Bruce Pritchard, nice guy who had everything to prove in the world. guy who lost his Olympic dream because he got shot, fucked up his leg. Yeah, that's our heel.
The likable, nice guy, Bobby.
The Franklin, yeah. Franklin's the nice guy. And meanwhile, we got the face who's actually a douchebag who can't see a goddamn camera and go, I'm going to go shit on WWE, despite the fact that in this show he's going to say that was the past. Yeah.
Yay, Impact.
Let's get into other news. There's other news.
How do you change company names and rebrand and still be so bad?
Because it's the same people running it. It's the same. It's the same. It ain't Dixie Carter.
Even though they're up in the ratings.
Yeah, and it ain't Dixie. I know it ain't Dixie Carter anymore because she's now getting interviewed by WWE. By the way, PA people bitching about that.
Oh, could you, Dixie? Well, I mean, she's not in the
company no you more. Kicked her out of the company. You basically took the company from her.
She had the free time.
Yeah, and it was for Kurt Angle. It's not like she's really being part of the storylines or anything.
Even though people thought she was going to be the part of the Kurt Angle storyline.
I know.
Stupid people.
I know. I was like...
Which probably would have went better if it was her somehow.
No, it wouldn't have. People would not know who the fuck she was.
At least not the WWE crowd.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. Who's this woman? Is this the Blair Lynch shit they're talking about?
They would get about the same reaction that Jason Jordan did, but, you know.
Yeah, at least they knew who he was. Kind of.
Went over like a lead balloon still.
Yeah, it was going to be bad regardless of what it was. That was just...
Kurt Angle's got a secret.
Yeah. There's some other news. The Hardy shit got put on SI News.
Just let them have the gimmick.
Well, they were going to give... Apparently, there was a deal already in place for $10,000 to $15,000 for them to buy the gimmick, and then TNA went, "Oh, we also want 50% of everything you have."
No.
Yeah.
Dummies.
Including Jeff's art, music career. We want proceeds from that too.
Music career? You mean that horrible song he comes out to?
Greedy bastards. and here's even worse. They're greedy. I hate to tell you this. Now, their new contracts state that 10%, they get 10% of all the, of all your independent bookings. Which you,
from the top.
And they take 100% from your merchandise. You don't get a cent from your merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you sell GFW merchandise that GFW made that, is of you, you ain't getting a cent of that. So you might know now that Magnus is gone.
Yep, Magnus is gone.
He was only really there to drop the title and do some stupid thing that went nowhere.
Yep, and have a match with Matt Morgan for no reason.
Yeah. Speaking of which, where's he gone? He disappeared.
He's gone back into space.
He's probably gone back to his dealership or managerial services.
Oh, well, will Magnus end up in NXT?
No, I don't. So, well, could be. I mean, Mickie James is working in WWE, so you never know. Although
he is, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. They got some names in the house show: Johnny Mundo and Taya. I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, they're going to be at the GFW events.
Those shows are going to bomb.
Oh, they're going to bomb, all right. They know it. But it's going to be interesting to get Johnny Mundo since his whole situation with AAA that we don't need to get into.
Nope.
Yeah, AAA freaking dropped the fucking ball, screwed the pooch with them. Kenny King talked about his pay issues. He said, "What's the difference between working for Impact and Ring of Honor? I get my damn check on time, bro."
Yep.
Yep.
And there's probably some money in it.
MVP being fired by TNA for pushing to bring in Hernandez and later finding out he was under contract. How was it MVP's fault in any way, shape, or form? He is talent. He recommends a talent. You get all these lawyers, and you've got all these people who work in Panda Electric, former owner of Impact, and the office for this sort of thing. You mean nobody thought it would be a good idea to check? It's standard operating procedures nowadays. In pro wrestling, say, let me see your non-compete. What's your non-compete up? When's it up? This is how wrestling works in the 21st century.
Or any century. Or at least any in the last couple centuries.
Yeah. Gail Kim's going to announce she's going to retire.
Which she did.
Yeah, she's announced it. And Shane Helms...
behind-the-scenes role.
Yeah, Shane Helms is calling out Jeff Jarrett. Basically, he called him a carny, said he would rather climb a tree to tell a lie than stand the ground and tell the truth.
Jeff Jarrett, a carny? Surely you don't say.
Yeah. Wants 100% of the merchandise? You don't say he's a carny. You don't say.
Step right up. It's GFW Wrestling.
Yeah, step right up. We might screw you, but it's GFW Wrestling. Come on, people. There is more news, of course, as always. Rey Mysterio might come to TNA.
Why? He's not good anymore.
Because he's a name. And
he hasn't been good in years.
He's been fine in Lucha Underground. He's done some of the best stuff he's done in a while.
Resurgence.
He's having a resurgence. He's doing less, but he's doing more with less. Not trying to break his body all around.
Yeah.
Oh, finally, GFW is creating a new Talking Smack style post show for After Impact. Actually, that's what it's called, After Impact. And it's hosted by Josh Matthews and Tyrus.
Just in case you wanted to hear another hour of Josh Matthews.
Just in case you wanted to hear Josh Matthews go on and on. The way that fucker blocked me. So fuck him. I guess we got to get to the shows.
We got 2 shows.
We got to get to the 2 shows.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Madison Rain's gone. Did we mention?
In case you noticed.
In case you didn't notice, Madison Rain is gone. She left.
Nobody noticed.
Yeah, nobody noticed.
She's been gone for months and nobody noticed.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Anyway.
Let's get into these shows. First show, we also got to talk about the Mae Young Classic and several people being on that.
Yim and Marty Bell were on it.
Marty Bell, freaking Jazzy Berlin, who was alpha female.
Yep.
By the way, she got over, even though the fans liked her, even though she didn't win. Yeah, she didn't get to the finals. None of the TNA people. Tessa Blanchard, I think she made a few appearances. Tana Garrett.
This tournament filler, unfortunately.
Yeah. Freaking Rosie Lots of Love was there.
Hey, pulled out of the mothballs.
Yeah. She's a little skinnier.
Did you nearly kill anybody this time?
No. From what I heard, no. She didn't kill anybody this time. I'm still pissed off about that whole Daphne thing, but no, she didn't kill anybody this time. Thank God. Who else made a fucking appearance in that goddamn tournament? Well, which I'm going to watch.
Girl won it.
Well, nobody's won it yet. There's a finals. They haven't taken the finals.
Take the finals, or
No, they haven't taken the finals.
How's that going to work? Because they said the finals air September 12th, but
in Vegas.
The tournament doesn't start airing until the end of August.
Well, because they're going to go. You're going to have to go through weeks of 4 shows a week to get to the finals. You're going to have to watch show. You're going to have to watch the whole round in 1 week, and then the next round in 1 week.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's a stupid thing, but what are you going to do with this comp? What are you going to do?
Everybody's got too much time on their hands. Let's have them watch all this.
Yeah.
This isn't like an episode of Ride Along where it's 20 minutes and it's easy to watch sometimes.
Yeah. God damn it. I'm still looking for this God damn it, the Mae Young thing. I'm looking for the spoilers. It shouldn't be that hard to find. I mean, they happened last week, I think.
Last Thursday and Friday?
Yeah, they happened around that. Oh, yeah, the last Thursday. It happened. Ugh, whatever. I'm not gonna go any more into it. Let's get to the results. All right. Let's get to the first show. We start off the first show, which, by the way, I originally gave a C. Now thinking about it, I give it D. Mm-hmm. It wasn't good. Great. We started off.
Shows were good.
This week's show was horrible. This week we had Joseph Park and Grado in a shitty car. It says, "We need to get you married, Grado."
No, he don't.
Because
Let
you're
him
going to
get
get deported. You're going to get deported. We need to get you married. And we need to get you married, man. That's the only way you can say in this country. And I'm like, if you really followed the integration law, yeah, that is a loophole. But if there's a
always work.
But it doesn't work because most times your immigration comes by to make sure this is legit, and not a fraud thing, because they know this shit.
And they know when you're lying.
Yeah, they know when you're lying. Because they interview both of you, the same questions, and they want to see if you get the same answers.
Yeah.
So
this angle is not going to end. This whole Grado thing is not going to end well, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. So Grado thing. By the way, he should be okay with
some of the worst storylines so far this year.
By the way, he should be okay with being deported since he's better off in Ireland or wherever Scotland.
Impact has had some of the worst storylines across the board this year.
Yeah. So now we talk about the wife beater or woman beater that is our world champion. Although they're like, he ain't guilty yet, innocent until proven guilty. I'm like, he's guilty of being a piece of shit already.
He's going to defend his family.
Here comes LAX first to say, hey, Alberto Lamierda, he's the newest member. Although, interesting enough, Alberto ain't out there with them. But here he comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Alberto calls Conan by his real name and name drops Rey Mysterio and basically says, no, I ain't joining LA. And Conan's like, dude, the man has held us down.
Really?
Basically, yeah, we've been held down, man. I'm like, those two titles with those two guys don't say differently. And your shit in WWE and all that. And I'm like, he was a world champion several times.
He was on a WrestleMania one time as a champion.
Yeah. And now Patron's like, all that shit is in the past. And I'm like, those drunken videos you keep posting where Paige has to get you out of there, it says differently. Conan keeps trying to get Alberto Lamierda on their side, and Alberto keeps saying, no, you son of a bitch. And LAX,
son of a bitch.
And LAX is like, oh, he tried. Beat his ass. And then Pope's like, hey, Lamierda is a man who stands for something. I'm like, poor timing. He does stand for something.
But it's not anything good.
No, it's horrible. So Franklin comes out to save his ass. And he seems fine with Franklin now. And they
just had a title match.
Yeah, they do talk about the Orlando mayor and pay tribute to the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. Local stuff. So it's Super X Cup first round with ACH taking on Andrew Everett. And they talk about last week's show being the highest rated Impact of 2017. Which was a shit show, by the way.
And this past week, this one that we're talking about got higher ratings.
Yeah, great.
How are these shows getting higher ratings, but yet they turn out to be so terrible?
I don't know. So it's been announced during this match that Franklin and Alberto Lamierda take on LAX tonight. Really good match between ACH and Andrew Everett. There's really
I've always liked ACH.
Yeah, him and Everett really worked well together. ACH won with a brain buster, and of course Josh has mentioned Austin Aries, who did the brain buster as his finisher and created option C.
Oh, I mean, it's part of the history, I guess.
And during the poll, Rosemary had to mention, why am I leading the poll on best knockout for Grado to marry? Why are we leading this poll?
Why are we even doing this storyline?
I don't know. And they do another Slammiversary commercial. Guys, you knew this show happened 2 weeks ago.
Yay.
Gail Kim comes out,
So,
special announcement, and if that dress gets any higher, we may see it may be a little X-rated.
what?
Her dress was high.
Oh, no.
The hem on the dress was freaking high. That's what I was saying. So she talked about all the sacrifices she made, and this will be the last year she will be wrestling.
You know what?
The fans are like,
As
no!
much as we've crashed Gail Kim in the last year, if she does get the knockout title and maybe she's the one to put over Allie on her way out, I'm fine with that.
She will not be, they will not be that lucky. We will not be that lucky at all. Fans are against her retiring, but I think it should have happened already with her. But she plans to retire as Knockout champion. Boo.
I hope not.
So,
Put over someone on your way out.
here comes they show the Swole Mates, and here comes Christopher Adonis, who wants the Swole Mates in the ring, and Pope is asking while these guys are entering the ring, where is security?
Why?
Well, these guys are not, they're not wrestlers.
Oh, you
They're
mean
people in the soulmates. They're in the crowd. Why are they allowed in the ring so easily?
Because Impact doesn't have a good security team. We've talked about this many times.
No, and it gets even worse. Here comes Eli Drake, by the way, and of course, by the way, impromptu pose down first of all, because of course. Then Eli Drake has come to the ring. He shoves those swole mates while he has to talk to Adonis. And then here comes the ref.
Oh, boy.
But no match happens. Next is a match that was kind of teased that Octagon Cito would have his match, but really it's pointless. Him versus Demas.
Who looks like a tiny Tyrus.
Yeah, with face paint.
Midget matches, not fun.
Impact tried to talk about how these wrestlers in a six-sided ring being new to the experience. I'm like, better not say that to the Luchadors, because I think AAA and CMLL have a six-sided ring. So, they know this shit. I will give Octagon Cito, it was, the way he won was a creative roll-up, so I'll give him credit for that. But other than that, this match was nothing. And, then we go to Grado trying to act the knockouts out. And failing. Although Sienna and Rosemary were the best. He's slowly ascending towards Sienna as she's in the mirror. She sees him and she's getting angry. And he senses this and run. And then he goes to Rosemary, who's, in the rafters and stuff. And she nearly spits on him.
Oh, Grado.
So he runs. He has to run because she's going to kick his ass. Then we get a montage of Matt Sydal.
Matt Sydal.
Nice of GFW while this interview's going on that in the early days you were not paid well.
Yeah, he's about to not be paid well here either.
Here comes EC3 for commentary. Or you'd think so. As Moose defends the title against Naomichi Marufuji. Marufuji. And Judge Dutch Mantel, Scott D'Amore, and Bruce Pritchard, who has Tyrus with him. By the way, EC3 says barely anything on commentary. I think he just says, hey, what's up? And that's it. Every time they ask himself, he's just like, okay, that was EC3.
EC3, everybody.
Yeah. Moose easily wins round 1. Marufuji won round 2, even though Josh disagreed with that. Then we get a commercial for GFW Amped Anthology, Part 1.
August 11th. Yay.
Yeah.
Why? 2-year-old shows. Come on now.
2-year-old shows with many of the guys who ain't there anymore.
Yes, they hyped it on Impact tonight. Bobby Roode, Magnus, a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
That don't work for you anymore. Mickey James.
Eric Young.
Chael Sonnen on commentary.
Yeah. Who's now in Bellator.
None of these people work for you.
None of
Why are
them.
you even bothering with this?
No, because Jeff Jarrett's got to get that footage out there somehow. He's got
Make a
his
DVD.
ego. Fucking ego.
He's a shyster.
He's a shyster. He's getting so EC3 causes a no contest by hitting Marufuji with the ring bell. Then Moose hits him with a big boot, and EC3 runs off.
Yay.
And then we go to the LAX clubhouse, which means this thing must not be far from the impact zone.
Might be the basement.
If they can get there.
Must be in the it could be in if the impacts don't have the basement.
It could be where the club, the freaking Aces and Eights used to be. It could be stealing that room. Yep, we're taking it. Anyways, Conan tells
3 years.
Send a message. We need to send a message, these two guys. Put them in the hospital.
Because why?
Because we need to send a message. You don't mess with LAX.
Yes, but, oh, God.
Here
Terrible.
comes Trevor Lee, proclaiming himself X-Division champion, and says he will defend the title tonight against this great guy named William Weeks. Against this great upcomer named William Weeks, who is basically nothing. Not a jobber, yeah. And is a basic squash match.
Yep, and then Sanjay Dutt comes out at the end.
By the way, the most funny thing is during this match, we see Sanjay Dutt being restrained by security.
Let him go out.
Let him go out.
Where were you guys earlier when EC3 was beating people up? Where were you guys earlier when the TV guys were getting involved?
I don't know. And then it gets even worse because Sanjay Dutt somehow is able to escape those guys, get to the ring, but Trevor Lee escapes with the belt as Sanjay just fucking stands there. Not chasing him. Not that far.
He's got your belt, dummy.
He's got your belt. Go after him. Don't just stand there. The ring. So, Ava Story versus Laurel Van Ness.
Yay. Laurel, who's been wearing that dress for about 6 months now.
Was not taking a shower in 140 days at that point.
Ooh, golly.
She won with a stinky foot stomp. That's what I'm calling it.
Oh, what?
The stinky foot stomp.
She needs a shower and she needs a manicure or a pedicure.
Here comes Grado, and he wants to ask out Laurel Van Ness.
Well, his choices aren't really...
Grado, Laurel's Canadian.
If
you're trying to get an American citizenship, why are you trying to ask out a Canadian?
Well, wait, is it Rosemary Canadian?
Allie is. I don't know if Rosemary's Canadian.
I think Courtney Rush is from Canada.
Yeah. I think Sienna's from Canada, too. No, she's from, I think, the USA. I think she's from the USA, actually.
Sienna's from Detroit.
Yeah.
She's close enough to Canada, but yeah.
But yeah, you're so desperate that you're trying to ask out a Canadian. Do you even know this?
Nope, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot. Laurel Ness is a Canadian. Oh, by the way, and she's dating Zack Ryder when she's not wearing that horrible shit.
No, because she's actually an attractive girl when she's not doing the gimmick.
Yeah, so Congo Cat comes out and basically chases him off.
I'm a cat, a big fat cat.
Yeah. I should be a Kong, but my face paint makes me look like a reject from Cats.
And Pope is like, does he like her too? Is this like Beauty and the Beast?
These positive things the Impact crew are saying about La Mierda, they feel dated during this main event match, which is LAX versus Franklin and Alberto La Mierda.
Alberto El Patron La Mierda.
La Mierda. I am not calling him the boss. He is the shit.
Alberto Del Rio.
That's his WWE name anyway. So La Mierda and Franklin beat the tag champs. As Franklin's leaving, La Mierda says, "Hey, we make an awesome team! Make a great tag!
We make an awesome team, huh?"
And then LAX beats his ass, and Franklin's like, "Well, fuck this guy."
Like
and he's like, "Why did he leave?" And I'm like, "Why did he leave after saving him?"
Why would he team up with him?
I'm like, because of last week when they beat him up, he got his revenge, and after that, fuck him.
I did what I needed to do.
I did what I needed to do. Great Super X match. Terrible Grados. That's the only reason this show doesn't get an F. Unfortunately, there is so much bad stuff. So much stuff that you just go, ugh.
Yeah, this was the highest rated Impact.
Yeah.
ever.
Yes. So it gets a D, which is an improvement from the week before, which
But
I gave
the grade's
it.
about to go down.
Yeah.
The show of multi-man matches, a lazily booked Impact.
Oh God, this show. So earlier today, it's basically revealed that LAX has told the Dos Caras and El Hijo Dos Caras they must convince Mierda to join LAX or else. And if you're TNA or else, we'll do nothing. GFW. We'll do nothing.
Or else.
But unlike them, LAX will actually do something. Well, yeah, that was the joke. Okay, Super X Cup, Sammy Guevara versus Drago. And we start off with problems during the interview with Sammy Guevara. They're showing clips from the match that is about to come up.
Whoops.
I am not kidding you. They are just
Bad
showing
editing.
Impact.
Very bad editing.
Yeah, they're showing stuff because they only show GFW stuff. And he's only been here. This is his first match in GFW. So they have to show stuff from the match, apparently, for some stupid reason. They can't get anyone else footage from anywhere else. They can't. I don't know why. And then Drago, and you notice the translator sounds like Joseph Park. You're like,
huh?
And since Drago wrestled here, they show only the Slammiversary footage. So yeah. And there is this finisher, which is a really insane corkscrew, like he goes in a rotation twice and hits a senton on Drago. That's not the finish of the match. Well, he doesn't do a corkscrew, but he does he goes a rotation twice as he's flipping to hit a set. This is a really good finisher.
Yep.
Too bad it's not the finish.
Oh, boy.
Too bad that only gets a 2 count. And Drago wins with a running DDT.
Yay.
And I'm like, dude, I like Drago, but Sammy impressed more, so the wrong guy won. I really hate saying that. So GFW talks about some charity work they did in a place called Camp Boggy Creek. I am so tempted not to make a Boggy Creek joke.
I was going to say, Camp Boggy Creek sounds like something that would be like in a horror movie.
There's a horror movie called Boggy Creek. Which I was always like, must resist. So anyway, Sienna comes out for another non-title contest against Amber Nova this time.
Who's somebody else. Who was somebody else, I think.
But yeah, and Josh being a fucking heel, this is Pope for doing charity work saying he'll do anything for a sandwich.
Shut up, Josh.
Shut up. You... God, man. Really? Charity. Don't need to act like a heel with a guy doing charity. Don't do the shit. We're like, they shut up. So Sienna wins quickly with an AK-47 and then gets on the mic and basically says, none of you believed me, especially you, Karen Raptor. So get out here.
And speak of the devil.
Here she comes. And Sienna like, no, I don't want you to say you were right. I want you to get on your knees and say I'm the best greatest knockout ever. And I'm like, oh, she ain't going to do that. She does that for someone else. She'll do that for someone else, but she ain't going to do it for you.
Here comes Allie with a stick.
Yeah, kendo stick, and then LVN comes out, the double team.
And then Rosemary.
Who also gets beat up.
And then Gail Kim.
Here's the big thing. Karen Jarrett grabs Sienna, which distracts her, and here comes Gail Kim to chase them off. So let me tell you what happened. Basically, what that means. That means both Rosemary and Allie, your two big face knockouts, had to be saved by Karen Raptor and Gail Kim.
Gail Kim, who hasn't been around in 9 months.
And Karen Raptor, who can't wrestle. Yay!
Way to make your faces look legitimate.
You really are fucking up the new generation of knockouts, are you? You really are. Anyways, Karen then announces that Sienna will defend the title against Rosemary, the last knockout standing, next week.
Wonderful. Next.
Next, LAX kidnaps. It's from earlier in the day. They re-show some of the footage. So LAX has kidnapped Alberto's brother and basically tell him, you need to send a message to your brother. Join LAX or else. We're going to beat your ass. And then the Swolemates showed up. And we get a promo to introduce El Hijo del Fantasma.
Mm-hmm.
Showing only the Slammiversary footage.
Yep.
And in one of the dumbest moments, Bruce Pritchard is on the phone with Tyrus. Well, he's not on the phone with Tyrus himself. Tyrus is behind him, but Bruce is on the phone. He meets Trevor Lee. And he asks him, why did you take the belt? And he is like,
get a title shot.
You haven't gotten the title shot yet. And he's like, nobody else. And then Sanjay shows up being restrained by security, and Bruce tells him to get out of the building. This dude is trying to get his belt back, and Bruce tells him, get the fuck out of here. Oh, and Trevor Lee, I guess that makes kind of sense. Yeah, Trevor Lee, the wrong guy with the belt. This is the stupidest stolen belt storyline.
It's gonna get stupider.
This is the stupidest. There are a lot of stolen belt storylines that have been bad. This is the dumbest because they're legit stopping the guy from getting his belt back. Create the security.
Someone's saying, well, it's building heat. It's building heat. It's not building heat.
Because this is
making your champion look like an idiot.
This is your security. Your goddamn security. Who are supposed to be neutral.
Helping out a heel.
Legit helping out a heel because Bruce Pritchard, who I'm guessing is turning heel, they do this the whole night. He's slowly turning. So, and just basically he says, I guess this is just stupid. You just bring this up now and this goddamn thing. Goddamn, this is at least when other people stole the belts, it was always they get chased around and they still have the damn belt away. Or they get...
Or it's Andre and DiBiase stealing the belt and getting it taken away that night.
Or the baby faces babyface getting beaten up by the heels or being stopped by the heels as the other guy gets away. Shit like that. Security's just... He would get the belt back. He'd have the belt back by now if security didn't stop him. Or if he didn't act like a dumbass in the ring last week. So anyways, 6-man tag match. Idris Elba,
and a bunch of jobbers.
Idris Elba, Trevor Lee, and Demas versus Laredo Kid, Garza Jr., and Octagoncito. And probably one of the few big things, Octagoncito does this stupid flip for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
He basically goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. For no fucking reason.
Yes.
And, by the way, it's revealed Sanjay Dutt has been banned from the Impact Zone tonight.
Why?
I don't know. This company. Because
how do you get new management and get worse?
Oh, yeah. How does this happen?
And yet these shows are getting high ratings somehow.
How?
I know WWE is not in great shape, but holy cow.
Is GFW really helping the name change? Is that really helping? I want to know.
What's the secret?
What is happening? So, anyways, Garza Jr. removes his pants. The ladies go mild.
All three of them that are in the Impact Zone.
Hey! And commentators, even the commentators, don't know why Bruce didn't make Trevor give back the belt. Even they're like... Even
the commentators don't understand this shit.
And they're like, why didn't he take the belt from Trevor Lee? And Josh was like, good question. And then didn't answer why. But good question. Yeah, even the commentators are like, this is stupid.
Ugh,
so, anyways, Octagon Cito pins Idris Elba after being on top of the other two guys and doing a frog splash.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, part one of Grado being on a date.
Oh, God.
That LVN has not taken a shower in 147 days. And this date segment made me scream in anger because basically the point is that Grado...
She's a pig.
Yeah, she is the problem. Not Grado. Yep. She's the problem. She still hasn't taken a shower. She's like, still in the same suit. It's like, oh, I got it nice for you. And it's like, really? So they go to get worse. And he's like, I accidentally ate the chocolate and drank the champagne. And she's like, oh, I drank my own champagne. So he bought her coupons instead. Fucking coupons.
Coupons. This storyline.
And at the restaurant, they sit far away from each other, but she comes right up to him to give him the pepper and all. She puts on herself, and he's crazy.
He makes Grado look retarded. How nice.
Yeah. So.
It's still a case where no one in wrestling knows how to write these kind of angles.
Then LAX kidnaps Dos Caras.
Oh, boy.
Basically do the same thing as they told his brother, but this time they have cutters.
Wonderful.
They're gonna take a fingernail or something. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna use, the cutters for some reason. Next up is a 3-way X Division title match between Matt Sydal.
So many multi-person matches.
El Hijo del Fantasma. By the way, it's mentioned Matt Sydal wants a title shot. And JB mentioned El Hijo del Fantasma is also King Cuerno of Lucha Underground.
Why would you mention that?
I don't know.
That's
but he
another
does.
company, you dummy.
It's JB, not Josh.
You're not working with.
Yeah, it's JB. It's AAA. They're allowed this shit. Whatever. And this match is boring. I hate to say that, but there is one good spot where they're doing a El Hijo del Fantasma does a Mexican surfboard on Matt Sydal, and low-key hits the Warriors way on Matt Sydal while he's in this surfboard.
Yep.
It looks freaking awesome. Other than that, this match is mostly boring. Sydal wins. Low-key hits a Warriors way on El Hijo Fantasma. Unfortunately, the ref does not go to count the pin because he knows what's happening. Because he's an idiot. He's ruining the illusion because he's waiting for Matt Sydal to hit the the shooting star press on low-key to pin him.
Best shooting star press in the business. He's
waiting for this finisher instead of, trying to count the pin as low-key could have gotten had him.
Well, I'm just going to stand here and wait for the other guy to hit his move.
Yeah, I know he's going to hit the big move. I know it.
Ref, do your goddamn job.
Goddamn job, ref. There's a pin going on there, but you ain't just standing there like an idiot. Anyway, Sydal shakes El Hijo's hand. He couldn't shake Low-Key's hand because Low-Key already left. Sydal gets up and says, y'all need to trust yourself and question authority.
Terrible.
Can you come out, Bruce Pritchard? So Bruce is mad. He's like, I'm getting tired of people.
Everybody demanding title shots, even though that's what they're supposed to do.
But I would like a title shot. And he asked. He didn't demand. He asked.
Said, I would like a title shot, Bruce.
I think I've earned a title shot.
And here comes Franklin.
And Franklin is like, basically, Matt's like, come on, man, don't do this to me. And Franklin's like,
and he's very Sydal.
I want a title shot. I demand a title shot.
I'm the only one who deserves a title shot.
Even though he has a good point in that one, since this rematch was ended by LAX. Anyways, Franklin gets pissed at him. Basically, after saying what he says, he spears Matt Sydal.
Out of a shoot, what a bump that was.
Yeah.
Kind of a semi-barrier with Sydal, by the way, kind of being that.
Yeah. So, and Bruce leaves with Tyrus. He just leaves.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of him leaving.
Here. This was just a waste of time.
Time filler.
More right up with LVN, and he's like, oh no, it's Kong Kong, and it's actually Idris Elba on a grill. He's like, where? And he runs. Yes, he
God.
confused hair.
And they're under the stars for some reason. Or is that
And he's
later?
like, she's trying to kiss him, and he plays dead. And
She's
basically
trying to give you something, Grado.
You dumb
idiot.
shit. Don't act like you're uninterested. You need to make this work. By the way, he goes back to Joseph Park, and then he says, he's like, do you ask a question? No. Well, you need to ask the question. You need to get her to marry you. And he's like, you're right. God, this is gonna... So anyway, Fatal 4-Way match, Eli Drake, Moose, Eddie Edwards, and EC3. Actually, Eli Drake comes out with Christopher Adonis, and Adonis throws water at the Soulmates, or one of them.
Stop inciting them.
The Soulmate comes in,
away.
beats up Chris Adonis, and the other one shows up, Eli Drake's like, fuck this shit, I'm out of the ring. So basically, they get to pose, and I'm like, is this reality? Are wrestlers jobbing to TV guys? Really?
You know what usually happens?
What?
Wrestlers do jobs to celebrities of some sort.
Yeah. I know, yeah. And so, sometimes we get Kevin Owens powerbombing Machine Gun Kelly.
Occasionally.
Yeah. Occasionally, they do get their asses kicked. So, back to the scheduled 4-way as Eddie Edwards, EC3, and Moose come out. So yes, we need it. And again, bored. But a really sloppy double head Hurricanrana. I blame this not on Eddie Edwards, but really on EC3 and Eli Drake. They were not in sync here.
Nope.
So, anyways, EC3 hits a 1%er on Eddie Edwards. Moose pulls him out of the ring. And then Eli Drake comes in and steals the pin.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, backstage, Mackenzie Mitchell is backstage with the Soulmates. They're starting to talk, and LAX is going up to Dos Caras and El Hijo Dos Caras. They're like, fuck this interview, come with us! And I'm like, oh, good job, LAX! So, they assault Dos Caras and El Hijo and basically Conan says, Alberto, you're gonna need to come to the ring, or we're gonna basically murder these fuckers.
We're gonna kill your family.
They will come out of the ring, basically. And I was on the air with Stevie J at this point. So basically what I got was they basically caned him. No, La Mierda. His fucking brother's getting beaten the shit out of. And they're like, oh, yeah, he deserved it.
Nobody cares about you.
Nobody cares about you. He starts to threaten to unmask Dos Caras, and then La Mierda shows up.
Yeah.
And after questioning, really, is this the way you're going to do this? And he's like, okay, I'll join LAX. So they free the
daddy.
Save my daddy, and I guess uncap your beat-up brother and let them go, which they do. So he puts on the T-shirt. He's joined LAX, it seems, only for a few seconds as he beats all of LAX, including Diamante, by the way. What to take a clothesline. Except Conan, who he threatens to beat up with a cane, but is saved by the other members of LAX.
Mm-hmm.
Show's ended. That's it. F. This was horrible.
Yep.
Boring. And God damn it, I had to, if I have to scream at the top of my lungs for something like I had to do, like I screamed during the initial after the first Grado segment, I actually went, ah!
That's bad.
That's bad. It's not good. GFW, these tapings have been horrible. They've been
the highest rated shows that Impact has ever had somehow.
These are really bad shows. I wouldn't say the worst as those World Title Series shows were.
Yeah, but those were time filler shows because they needed to end their Destination America deal.
Those were painful. and yes, they were time fillers. They were pointless.
Right.
And they kept going for months. It went from like early October, like mid-October
December.
to early December. It went several months. Oh my God. No story, nothing. It's just matches.
Just matches.
And Josh Matthews in a CGI dome.
Who's gonna win, Pope? I don't give a fuck.
We're gonna do some technological shit. God damn. And talking, remember the talking segments?
Yes.
They were like, these four people are in a room together. And we're gonna talk to each of these guys. Who wants to fight who? All this shit. I'm like, oh my God.
Fight Matt Hardy, EC3.
Who really, which of these four guys do you want to fight? EC3's in the Champions League. He's with Aries, who basically Josh says, oh, I know he lost a loser leaves town match, but he's also an Aries, so you geeks can, he finds a way. That basically he said. Basically calling us geeks for wondering this small plot hole, and then says, he found a way.
Yep.
I remember that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was him, EC3, Aries, Franklin, and I'm trying to remember who the fourth guy was, but he basically was jobber meat.
Mr. Anderson.
Oh yeah, Mr. Anderson. That time. Yeah. The whole Matt Hardy was in the tag team specialist.
And won the whole bracket, I think.
He won his group because two people come out of that group. He was undefeated. Davey Richards, I think, was the other one who got out of there. Eddie Edwards
is in there too.
Eddie Edwards was in that group. I think Davey Richards won as well, or was it? No, I think it was him, not Robbie E. Thank fuck.
No, yeah, Matt Hardy, Robbie E., Davey Richards, and Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, and Robbie E. didn't win. He won one match, and that was it. Thank God.
Yep.
This was torture. These tapings have been bad, and unfortunately, they're also bad because your main champion is suspended. Your face of this company, everyone knows, is an asshole.
He's a woman beater.
Maybe a woman beater. He's an asshole. He is a piece of shit.
He's the face.
He's the face of the company. He's the good guy. He's the one you want to put on your merchandise.
And not the guy that should be the good guy.
Yeah, not the guy who barely shows up now, or just basically is down to his end of the contract, I guess.
What happens when they lose Lashley? They don't have, like, somebody...
they'll find... They have somebody else in mind with LAX.
Oh,
and they have someone else in mind.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I'll spoil this right now. It's low-key.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to put up low-key, but... yeah, it's not good.
It's bad.
It's, not good. Loki's going to join LAX because he is partially, he is Latino. He is partially
Latin.
Yeah. But,
and on that note,
there will not be a show next week because I will be, in Albany, helping, celebrating my grandmother's 80th birthday and helping her move.
Okay.
Other than that, I really have nothing to sell, do you?
No, not tonight. It's late.
All right, for everyone here, Miley, we are heading to bed.
Good night, everybody.
This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend and administrator of JimCornette.com and the Jim Cornette Experience on MLW every week, and you are listening. Angry Marks and all these people that are asking me all these questions that I'm answering with forthrightness and honesty.